Hi everyone, it's Ben Parker here. I'm delighted to have Dr. Sameer Joshi on the call, where we're going to look at the impact on AI in a number of different industries. As everyone guessed, it's been a lot fast moving, and a lot of changes are happening within the world. So Sameer, obviously you've been involved in both the startup and the corporate world. So I think just give a brief overview of what you've done, your expertise, obviously, because you've got a lot of experience in multiple industries.
Yes, thank you, Ben. I mean, it's a pleasure to be here and honor as well. You do some amazing talks over the place. I've been following you, and I feel really honored to be a part of this conversation together with you. Yes, so I was my journey started in the corporate world. I was with Siemens for a long time, almost 20 years. Started right at the bottom, you can say, and worked my way up to lead several businesses after several years of doing engineering and consulting work inside the company. I had the part of the rail electrification business, the geothermal business, and also the traffic control business out in the US. And then I started my startup journey. So my first company is a rubber granulate manufacturing company. Yeah. It's the stuff the mats are made out of. And my second company, which I started about a year thereafter, co-founded actually, was a software company. And we had several platforms, and we also built AI into it. And I successfully exited that company, just a short while ago. So yeah, so I mean, it's been an exciting, amazing journey, and glad to share my expertise, especially on AI.
I guess obviously brilliant. I think what I do ask everyone is actually recently is obviously you've had a fruitful career, obviously worked with some key players, and obviously entering the startup world, which is obviously like we've discussed in the past, is a different culture to the corporate world. What do you think? Obviously, there's a lot of people now looking to break into the analytics field. What do you think it takes to be a success in this field, or what advice would you give to juniors looking to, obviously like yourself, you've gone from the bottom to the top. So what advice would you give to people?
So, I mean, the fundamentals of success and generating success are, they're very timeless. Yeah, one needs to pick up one thing and stick with that thing until one has converted it into some sort of success. Now, success is going to mean different things to different people, obviously, right? But to generate meaningful success out of something is to, be able to say that, it produces sustainably a certain set of results that you thought it would. So, my basic advice to anybody starting out on any journey, and technology is one journey, in that AI is one journey, there are data analytics, many other paths, and there are also a lot of non-technical paths to take out there. But the key is, to select something that one feels passionate about. And one can hear this over and over again being said by so many people, many luminaries as well. But there is truth to it, because at the end of the day, one needs to feel passionate about something to be able to be persistent about sticking with it and taking it from nothing to success. So that would be my advice. Take something that, you feel really passionate about and stick with it. And there's, a world of opportunity waiting at the end of that journey.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I mean, I've always wanted to run a business, and that's something you need something to get you out of bed in the morning.
You go.
If you've not got that buzz, just you're not going to succeed. All right, cool. No, it's interesting thoughts and great to hear. So we'll dig deep. We'll look into a number of different industries. So we'll look into financial services, then insurance, automotive, manufacturing, and obviously your new flavour, the startup world. We'll start with financial services. Obviously, this is it's going to be a massive impact. Obviously, it's transforming the financial industries. Obviously, in ways, it's opening new operating models. Obviously, seeing new banks, new ways of working being open in the year.
Absolutely.
Been opening. And I think I read the other day, I think it was the Business Insider report. I think within the financial services, they're looking to like the cost savings of up to like 447 billion in 2023. So
Yes.
obviously the efficiency and cost savings is just massive. And obviously, I guess within financial services, it's a lot of fraud, and I guess they're the big topics. Just cybersecurity. Are they? I guess it'd be good to get your thoughts on are they the key challenges, or would you think there's other challenges that AI can help?
Right. So, I mean, AI is a double-edged sword, like many good things are, or pretty much anything out there. It always will have positive impacts, and it'll have a set of, challenges to deal with, right?
Yeah.
And the challenges can be converted into opportunities. So, like, you touched on several of the points yourself, and they're absolutely spot on. The financial industry is such a backbone industry of everything, right? I mean, it's such a key part in any economy, and efficiencies in the finance sector are basically something, and improved efficiencies, the almost $500 billion figure that you alluded to.
Yeah.
A lot of it is going to come through automation, and is coming through automation at the end of the day. A lot of routine tasks, a lot of tasks that otherwise would have been done by people. Like data analysis, also some fraud detection topics, and many other things. They can be automated, and it's not that they haven't been automated thus far, but now they're being taken to a completely different level by the involvement of AI. So and this is also feeding into what another really positive impact is in the finance industry, and that is the capability of enhanced decision making. So AI algorithms can actually analyze vast data sets to make better investment decisions, and also better lending decisions. So banks these days have been traditionally making lending decisions based on a set of standard operating procedures that they have established, but there's also some amount of intuition in it. So the intuition is never going to go away, but the entire processing of the information to come with better, more qualified decisions is going to become much easier. And what I see, talking about the impact of AI is, let's just take an example of all these large language models. ChatGPT being just one such extreme example of this principle. It's all about personalization, right? And the finance industry benefits really a lot from personalization. So AI-enabled tailored financial advice and also products for customers are something that is a massive game changer that AI is going to make possible. And obviously, we've been talking about it: risk assessment, risk management, risk mitigation, to make a qualified decision about risk. These are all massive upsides, right? But this also, especially in the finance industry, and this is all about being very protective about your customers' data. It's and so this is using AI. An increased reliance on AI is something that one should be a bit wary of. So the more it goes towards machines and the focus on machines, the more one exposes oneself to cyber threats and things like that. Something what you talk about. So those are the things that one should just keep in mind. And the other thing is that if you're getting AI to make decisions based on somebody's past, or allocating them to a certain group based on an algorithm that says this person with this profile matches this persona of people, broadly speaking, this could lead to some sort of a bias as well. So some biased algorithms are also possible. So the challenges range from data security all the way to privacy concerns, and some element of bias. Obviously the topic about efficiency doesn't come out of not changing job profiles and getting machines to do the work of others. But this is like the core topic in all of these things. There is going to be job displacement. There already is, yeah. But it doesn't mean that people are not going to have jobs anymore, and AI is going to do everything, and everybody's just going to be sitting there playing marbles, right? That's not the case. It's going to be certainly a repositioning in the job market. So some amount of displacement will be there, but it's promising at the end of the day, because this is nothing new as well. Every revolution that has come along, yeah, has displaced some set of jobs. Back in the day when I was growing up, letters were written using typewriters, and there were full offices full of what was called stenographers. These were called stenographers, right? And they would take dictation and then go type up the letter using 2 pieces of paper and a carbon paper. Many of the people, of newer generations would be saying, "What is this guy? He's supposed to talk about AI, and what's he talking about?" I'm just making an example of those jobs got displaced the moment the computer came along. Yeah, so so just like that, but doesn't mean that people got unemployed completely. It just repositioned, and AI is going to do the same in the finance industry and everywhere else.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think obviously data quality is going to be the big, I think in years to come, the key area for growth. Obviously, to make sure you got the right models in place, you need the correct structured data. If you're just like say, that can lead to like bias in data, but like bias in personnel. If you put in the person in the wrong category, things like that. So it's going to be important for companies to have that right, as correct data as they possibly can. So that's going to be a big investment, and we've seen that before. Even like the data governance, that sort of growth, definitely in hiring recently. So it's going to be an interesting times ahead, and obviously beneficial for the industry as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
What in terms of opportunities, then, do you think it's just going to be more on the sort of efficiencies and cost savings that's going to be the benefit there, or anything else you'd like to add?
In the finance industry specifically? Yeah. Yes. I mean, this is, there's, like I said, there's a lot of personalization involved, personalized services.
Yeah.
The advantages are obviously efficiencies, to a large extent, and enhanced decision making on part of banks using these systems to ensure that that they protect themselves and their customers from fraud, and just increase the speed of things. Transactions and the speed of transactions is what all this game is all about. Yeah. So on the one hand, efficiencies and getting really fast at things, but also tailor-made, very effective solutions and personalized ones, because just like success, even a financial product is going to mean different things to different people. I'm going to sound like a broken record on this one, but yeah, those are the kinds of things that really make a difference. Yeah, and obviously risk management, which is AI driven and AI supported. Yeah, so it's a huge advantage.
No, interesting. Okay, so then we'll look into going to the insurance sector. Many companies or insurance companies, regulators, it's been known as a bit of a dull area, dull industry, but now with the I guess the advancements in analytics, it's boom. I mean, like I say, I've got many clients in the industry, and it's a lot. Really rather appealing to many companies now, or many individuals. There's a lot happening within the like the advancements in technology. I mean, even one client I think we deal with, I think the process used to take like a day to get like a quote. Now they can get an answer in 5 minutes. So obviously the efficiency there is just massive. So I guess obviously that's going to be a big impact, like within the claims. Obviously, or again, automation. I think it's going to be big for this sector as well. So what's the opportunities here, and again, I guess challenges.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, the insurance industry is obviously can be seen as a subset of the finance industry. So a lot of what applies to the finance sector applies obviously to the industry of insurance as well. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. So here again, I mean, what the whole insurance business is about assessing risk, categorizing risk, and then tailoring the product based on that. Yeah. And so again, AI assisted risk assessment is really transforming the industry as we speak, and has already made substantial inroads when I talk to my friends in the insurance industry and also in the reinsurance business, by the way, right?
Yeah.
You'd be interested to know. So there's also a bit of a layering in the field there. So risk assessment, is something that is impacted with AI, improving the whole paradigm of underwriting by analyzing data to assess risks more accurately. So that's something that is that's happening. One of the major concerns always has been traditionally in the insurance industry is fraud. Yeah.
Okay.
Fraud on all sides. I mean, the ones who are the ones who take insurance as a product and then turn in claims that are actually not valid claims, or pretend to be of a certain risk profile but they are not, and things like that. So the insurance industry, the reason why it has been so, as you rightly say, quote unquote, boring or archaic and all that, is lesser of the fact that it's not a dynamic or cool industry. Actually, it's really cool.
Yeah, no,
it's just
like,
that
let's boom it. It's busy. Like all the insurance companies we deal with are heavily invested in AI.
Absolutely. So the thing is that they are the way they are because they have to do certain things to get to the conclusions that they need to get to. That's basically what's driving them. So AI can actually really identify fraudulent claims. There are models that are being consistently trained to do more and more of that. And once that happens, obviously insurance industries or insurance companies reduce their losses by way of just increasing the quality of assessments that are made that are AI assisted. Where there is an opportunity, there's a risk. Obviously, there is some amount of profiling, some amount of bias that could happen here as well.
Yep.
There's no doubt about that. Yet, the underlying fact is that it is a benefit. Yeah. So that's definitely something that's really cool. In the insurance industry, one more thing is, like you just said, earlier you had to wait for one day to get an offer. Now you can get it in 5 seconds or 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah,
absolutely. And it is tailored to you. Ideally, it should be tailored to you as much as the company wants it to tailor to you. You want it to have it customized to yourself as well. The whole process of insurance, especially the B2C type of insurance, where end consumers take or customers take up insurance, be it for car, house, whatever you want to get insured. A lot of chatbot assisted technology is coming into play now. Chatbots and virtual assistants that enhance customer support, and not just in making the right and customized offers and getting them to the customers. That's the one thing, but also in claims processing. Because that's what the big pain point of many customers is.
Well, the settlements.
Yes, exactly. Right, absolutely. So all these things, are massive boosts that are, coming straight out of the AI corner, let's put it this way, or because of the involvement of that. And I believe that, obviously it'll be an industry that will transition slowly. But I don't think that this industry is blind to what is going on, in the broader context. And that's what I find really exciting, actually, about, even quote unquote boring industries, like you said, still very much chugging along and taking long. But the thing is that the ones who don't make these changes, and there are some players like that out there as well, are doing it at their own peril. So, the advice would be for them to just wake up.
Like this. I did actually a poll the other week on LinkedIn, and obviously a lot of data projects do fail still, don't they? There's a high percentage, and I was obviously asked why people thought this, and I think it's 52% of people said it's due to stakeholder and buy-in. So
Yeah,
obviously it's a new technology. It's going to take like things with
sure.
things take a while to change.
Absolutely.
I guess when it's
I mean,
proof
having
in pudding.
just to
Yeah.
absolutely, I totally agree. Just to add something to that on the insurance bit, a bit. I mean, we did, touch upon the topic of bias and fairness, also in the context of finance. But generally and very broadly so as well, there are also some legal and ethical challenges, because decisions made by AI in insurance are almost like, somewhat like decisions made by AI in a legal system. Yeah. So based on somebody's profile, would you be okay with someone being awarded a prison sentence of, I don't know, whatever time? Is that ethical? Yeah. Or someone does get an insurance which is not based on whatever background they get and whatever the model thinks it wants to extrapolate. And experience suggests that not all models out there are 100% accurate. I mean, they make flaws and they make mistakes very confidently. The models they don't portray themselves to be mistaken anyway. So there is a lot of legal and ethical type of a challenge, especially in the insurance industry as far as AI is concerned. But I guess the continued challenge is to ensure that that these are addressed.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, financial services and insurance is a regulated market. So obviously, they've got to follow a process. So they've got to be adhered to. Okay, cool. No, that's interesting. And I guess actually also I think predictive analytics would be key there, because it's going to be obviously, like I said, risk is a key. Minimizing risk is massive, so that's going to be a growing field. And obviously, like I say, it's a booming market at the minute. There's a lot happening and a lot of changes that can be made. So good times and a lot more projects to be made. So we'll dig into the next industry. So looking at automotive,
right.
Obviously, it's a lot happening in this field. Obviously, it's a lot on the news as well, especially like Tesla. So obviously, they're adopting new technology is going to be massive for like design. I guess streamlining operations and that sort of thing. What do you see as the sort of key opportunities within this industry?
Okay, so automotive, cool, very cool one. Yeah, it's a very interesting one to talk about. And the automotive industry, in a way, also is kind of representative in this, conversation maybe of the entire transportation industry at large. We could extrapolate these thoughts to many things, and many things become very exciting, and many things become very dangerous when we talk about that. Starting with autonomous vehicles. A large, that's a large, is a huge impact field with a lot. I think you can't have autonomous driving, self-driving cars, with the necessary safety standards that are needed for not just reducing accidents, but not having accidents at all, which a human could have easily avoided. The machines are not there yet, but they are getting there, and that's driven by AI, basically. Yeah. So the whole topic of self-driven cars and self-driven, self-regulating infrastructure, in broader sense, with even cars that are in traffic communicating with each other, and the kinds of standards and industry protocols that need to be in place for that. A lot of that is just not possible without AI. It's manually impossible to control such a thing. Yeah, so that's one piece. And so that's one paradigm that's changing the way the technology is used. But then there are other things. Yeah, you touched upon something, design. Yeah, and design is something where AI is touching pretty much all industries, but especially the automotive, and everywhere where you need to somehow bring out some kind of efficiency from whatever you're designing, be it better aerodynamics, better center of gravity kind of a distribution, whatever is needed to make sure that cars are efficient, and energy efficient. I don't want to call them fuel efficient anymore, because that's another transition that's happening towards electric vehicles. So that's energy efficient, right? So AI also inside of the car, right? Not just the driving part, but also technically operating whatever fuel resources are available based on road conditions, based on how many people are in the car, what the load is, etc. And to reduce energy consumption to make sure that it gets there. This is all AI that's increasingly being built into even into the conventional internal combustion engine technology cars that are out there. Yeah, even they're getting a lot of AI assisted technology in there. And then obviously, one big topic is safety. Yeah. Here in the automotive sector, safety is, we have systems already like lane depart assist and all that kind of stuff, or the steering wheel automatically going back if you're kind of sleeping and veering away or this way or that way. These have been out there even without what we today know as AI, but AI is taking them to a completely different level. Yeah. So adaptive cruise control, improved safety technology, and many other such topics that are coming through. So this is the building of the car and the car technology itself, but obviously where AI is making a massive impact. A production line in the Henry Ford times, there's only black and white pictures of that with black colored cars because that's all he wanted. And with a lot of people, surrounding the cars on the assembly line. Yeah. Take a look at a picture now. There is pretty much nobody to be seen over there. It's just robots. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a self-regulating line. So if there is a goof up in the earlier part of the line, it's going to propagate. If not controlled, the error could propagate and become really costly to the end. But here there are production lines that that use very intelligent technology to self-regulate themselves to make sure that even if there is a goof up that happens, it happens all the time, there won't be any major problem as far as the production is concerned. But generally, we were talking about traffic transport as a broader topic. There is the concern, that the more one digitizes this, that raises all kinds of privacy and security issues, right? Yeah. I would personally not have a problem if somebody knew that I got out of my house at 6:30 in the morning and, went out and stopped at the next Starbucks, got my coffee, and then went here, went there. I don't know. I wouldn't have much of a problem with that because I'm pretty transparent. But I know a lot of people who would, yeah. And so connected vehicles, connected technology cannot be without data being made available to in a peer-to-peer, but also a peer-to-system constellation. It's just not possible, right? We do this today also with all the navigation systems that we use, right? We provide our location, where we are, what speed we are going at, where we went, what we did. All that is going on right now as well. There you go. There you go. One can be tracked, but with connected and autonomous vehicles, this becomes a completely different challenge to address. This is also where regulation, just like in the other industries we talked about, like finance and insurance and all that, regulation is a key topic here. To provide the development and deployment of such vehicles and technologies, also for liability reasons and liability questions to be addressed properly.
Yeah, no, I definitely think privacy is going to be the big topic there because, like I say, people won't mind, like I said, like yourself, people won't mind tracking where you've gone, but others will be a bit uncertain about it, I guess.
Sure.
Again, it's going to dig into people's personal interest. People will be for it, others against it. So I guess that's an interesting topic to overcome.
Absolutely. Another challenge there is also a cybersecurity risk at the end of the day. Just imagine you have a completely autonomous, self-driven car, and it's you just happen to be sitting in the car. That's okay, and someone hacks the car. So you wanted to go to A, now you're suddenly going to B. Yeah, all of a sudden. Okay, if this is a completely self-driven vehicle and does not have the good luck to have you in the car so that you can steer it and take over manual control, and now it's your car, you're driving it, not the AI system. Then it can land up in destinations unintended and cause problems that are also unintended. So cybersecurity risks and such attacks with very intelligent vehicles out there makes the whole system very vulnerable, which also then poses the next challenge that needs to be addressed, that this needs to be, pretty much Fort Knoxed. It needs to be all in a Fort Knox, basically.
Yeah, no, it's a massive something. Someone took over your machine, as you say, took over your car and took you somewhere, or even crashed into someone else. Like,
yeah,
it's massive. There's obviously a lot of challenges there to overcome, and we'll see what happens, I guess, in the near future with that.
So a more humorous example is I shave my head every day, with a razor, just share a personal anecdote and also my face and everything. Right, just imagine it would be an AI-powered razor, not just shave my head, but also start shaving my eyebrows, right? Involuntarily, and I wouldn't have any control on it. So you don't want these kinds of things to happen, and that's exactly, the analogy to AI. So just as a light-hearted remark there.
Cool. And then, cool. We'll dig into the next industry, which is we're looking at manufacturing. I guess obviously it does align a bit with automotive, more on the, like I said, the operational side.
Yes.
Also, like you said, we are seeing a lot more of the automation in machine, like making of goods, design, in that respect. So what else would you add? I mean, what's the key challenges, opportunities within manufacturing, do you see?
Okay, so manufacturing, super cool area, and massive impact also, and potential also for AI. So both automotive in a way and like you said, the manufacturing industry, they try to pursue a very similar kind of a goal, and that is the minimization or to absolute reduction to possibly zero of errors, of errors of any sort.
Mm-hmm.
So increased AI efficiency, for example, in manufacturing can lead to very positive impacts if one talks about AI-driven automation, streamlining production processes, and especially reducing waste, industrial waste, which is a huge topic. My God. Earlier on in my career, with my exposure to industry automation, and my former employer, and I'm super fortunate to have had all that exposure, as a world leader in industrial automation, and even then it was very, very important that the entire production would be very efficient and would minimize waste and minimize the use of energy. But there are limits, or there have been typically limits to that. Now, we are finding more so in the manufacturing industry that by the use of AI, those boundaries that we thought were there are now being automatically challenged. That one can start thinking beyond those boundaries and pushing them even further and further to make production processes even more streamlined, even more automated, especially using technologies like or procedures like digital twins to make twins out of a digital twin out of an existing production process, and then basically using that as an optimization basis to then transfer those results to the actual industrial process, all the way to quality control, because like I said, the idea is to minimize waste and minimize errors, mistakes in the process. So AI systems have proven to be very efficient at detecting defects and ensuring product quality across the board of industries. Yeah. So I mean, we're not talking about any specific industry. I'm purposely keeping this high level. But you know, this is like something that's really generic and goes across pretty much all the industries out there. And then, you know, also things like predictive maintenance or maintenance in general. There's a lot of installed base out there for the manufacturing industry. Plants that are running, factories that are there and running, they're running well, yeah, well enough, maybe not at the most efficient level. And now, you know, with the use of AI, with the same things can become a lot more efficient. That's what's being found, yeah. So that's something also from a maintenance perspective, to keep these machines available, up and running, to maximize their uptime, is something that AI is making massive contributions to actually. You know, to help schedule maintenance in a way that it does not massively damage the entire production schedule, or you know, disrupt it in any way. Using you know, slicing up maintenance into smaller parts. What would be, you know, a big project earlier in maintenance, you know, to slice it up and do it you know, a more organically, a more fragmented approach. All these things are being proposed by the AI models that are deployed there, and experience suggests that when one implements them, one can get a lot more out of the same production line that was out there than was possible earlier, right? And again, here again, like, just like the finance industry that we talked about, customization is a big deal, yeah. So the more one can customize an industrial process which is built for scale. Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, basic level economics, that these are, you know, you need to reach certain economies of scale, but then you end up producing the same same product, you know, one size fits all kind of thing for everybody. Making it more flexible, more adaptable, more customizable for users is what the key over here, and AI is making massive strides in doing that. So super excited, especially about manufacturing being, you know, going from strength to strength there.
Yeah, well, definitely custom. I mean, people want things customized now, and then also at speed. People don't want to be waiting about for if a change can be made. No. But no, like you obviously discussed waste, because I think that's going to be obviously now they can obviously look at past data to I guess look into more detail the supply and demand, and then that's going to obviously minimise waste, and obviously that's I think going to be a massive for that, especially cost savings for that industry. I think it's going to be a big factor.
You know, what's really important. Sorry, just to add, what's really important for almost you know, industries and industry sectors across the board is the topic of sustainability. You know, and to do things in a sustainable way, to be carbon neutral, be net neutral, you know, whatever one's goals are until whatever time. And even there, you know, there's a lot of AI modeling that's going on. A lot of data is being fed into models to kind of predict as to what companies need to be doing tangibly to get what their own goals are, you know, from a manufacturing perspective. So that's very exciting to see as well.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. All right, and we'll finish off with also your new area, or we've had a couple of startups in this field, businesses in the startup world. Obviously, as you know, startups is a challenging environment compared to obviously you're competing against big companies, mature, set in their ways. But now, I guess with the changes of AI, obviously there's more. I guess you've got more access to like decision making, and I guess better and quicker analysis to obviously try and obviously path your way into the market. As a startup in a new environment is a challenging task. So what do you think is going to be the big opportunities here for utilizing AI in the startup world?
Wow, this is a massive topic. Okay, I love this one. So thank you for asking this question. And you know, the confluence of these two things, AI on the one hand and startup on the other, that's like just amazing, because At the end of the day, what are startups all about? These are new companies, incepted companies, can be, really in the early stage, and not even have a proof of concept or, an MVP or a minimum viable product, all these kinds of things. And startup, either a founder or founders or whoever's involved in the startup, they know that, especially in the beginning of the journey, one is just as much the CEO of the company as one is also a janitor in the company. Yeah, there is no the whole bandwidth is covered. What I mean to say is that pretty much everyone is expected to do everything, and there's so much going on. And the reason why there's a lot to do is that just there are a lot of tasks, and they're all very, very spread out, and everything is important, and everything needs to be done in a ideally in a structured and logical way, but that's not reality. That never happens, unless someone really goes into this with some kind of lot of experience, and they know exactly what they're doing, but that's not the case. So a lot of time gets consumed basically in just getting the basic things done. But we are finding, a lot of the AI innovation is now being used to develop, even things like if it's a startup, let's say, software as a service, or, just as a mobile app company, just to get to the MVP, what used to take months, maybe years, and lots of funds borrowed from relatives or borrowed from friends and family and all that kind of stuff. All that path is shortened using, tools that are AI driven, that use templates, that, code for you and all these kinds of things. All that development time has come down to a very, very short amount so there's a lot of process efficiencies. Processes are way more efficient now and way more leaner than they used to be. Even the challenge of managing one's calendar as a startup founder, that's the biggest task, right? Because either you're doing it all the time, or you're just giving up at some point of time, saying I can't manage my calendar because every time I try to do something else comes up. And especially if you're in a CEO role, like the problems distillate up towards the CEO or to the CX, whatever level. That's where you get to know. I mean, when things are running good, people are just doing their stuff. But it's obviously the problems that one gets involved in. So there's a lot of saving that is cost saving by way of the process optimization, and just avoiding mistakes by using procedures that tools that are AI driven. So I was talking about calendars. Now there are even calendars that are managed by AI. So you can make your task list, and you can you won't be able to do the tasks because there are so many of them, and you're going to get distracted. But there is a system that has your back and is categorizing these things by the priority you have given these tasks, and it's helping you get to your goals. So a lot is lost in chaos, or what used to be lost in chaos or in a startup hustle is now being structured very discreetly, yet also very effectively using AI tools. So that is an amazing thing. And then obviously, talking about startups, the biggest challenge for startups is scalability. That's so I'm actually writing a book right now that on startups, and it's got the 3-stage model called Get Set, Go, and Grow. So Get Set is just getting set up, getting ready. Go is the launch day, the big day of the launch, and then the launch thereafter. So that's the go. And then grow is scalability, or getting your startup scaled, because that's what the whole game is about. You want to grow and scale your startup, and AI tools are massively assisting that. That is so cool to see. And we used a lot of these some of these tools, a lot of these methodologies also in doing our startup work as well. So I'm super excited about that. Now, the ones who keep up with this wave and this development, they'll automatically develop a competitive advantage. Yeah, and these are the startups who will also be potential disruptors to players out there in the market, right? Who are challenging people in their market. So that's another thing to look out for, that there is a certain amount of, or a lot of competitive advantage that is to be gained. One could use AI to say, I'll just get it to do all the grunt work. That's great. Yeah, even that's time saving, that's efficiency. But there are also very intelligent ways of using artificial intelligence. Yeah, and that's where the human value added comes into play.
Yeah, this was just having that right process. Obviously, you can. There's a lot of talk. Like I've obviously both been involved in the startup world. There's a million and one things you can do, and you can easily get lost doing different things. But if you work in the right structured mode, to get the input. Obviously, like you said, startup's all about scaling. You want to do the money making activities first, so obviously you can scale. And then obviously there's other bits and pieces that you need to do, but obviously it's been working in that structured environment. And yeah, like you said, there's tools out there that can just keep you aligned, because your mind can go everywhere when you got to do
all over the place.
thing.
Yes, absolutely, great.
Brilliant, cool. Well, yeah, is there anything else you'd like to add? I think obviously the key takeaways is obviously companies will benefit implementing AI. Obviously, big one, I guess, cost efficiencies. Obviously, the efficiencies in saving time is just, I think, it's going to be the big ones at the minute, because it's a competition out there. Everyone wants to get ahead of their competitors. And obviously, the way to do that is saving time and obviously saving money, and then you can obviously use that money elsewhere.
Exactly, absolutely. Use money and the resources that get freed up, and also get reallocated actually to other tasks.
Better word. Yeah, definitely.
It's fantastic. That's the way to look at it. And I'd just like to say that there's a lot of hype, and also a lot of skepticism about AI. All in all, if there is a fair amount of regulation that is needed, and healthy amount of regulation. Most of regulation is actually good. Yeah, when you come to think of it, and I've been in industries that are massively regulated, right? I mean, the energy industry, or for example, railway transportation industry, as such. Yeah, these are now some software topics that we've been doing that touched upon many regulated industry, highly regulated industries like finance, and even medical technology and things like that. The thing is that regulation is not bad. Yeah, as such, it's actually needed to keep everybody safe. There's some amount of regulation. Some regulation can be a bit annoying. Yeah, for sure. But broadly, it's okay. And certainly it's needed for AI. So there's no doubt about that. So if one takes a very measured approach to it, I think one can really take this to the next level. And I think where AI is going to have probably the single largest impact is the area of education.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one sector that we didn't talk about, but that's where the entire paradigm is changing. The way we used to learn is not the way we are going to learn going forward. That's the reality. Yeah. So in my free time, I'm also a professor at one of Germany's largest university and universities. So I know for a fact how AI can actually completely transform the whole paradigm of education, not just now, but also especially going forward. And one just needs to be open to it. Irrespective of, we've talked about a lot of industries, we've also talked about education. At the end of the day, all the tools that we create and all the technologies used, we can never forget the human element on either side of the technology that's being used, the ones who are creating it and the ones who are going to be the users or beneficiaries of it. So that's the key. That's the key thing when talking about AI.
Yeah, it's like I say, obviously you can. All these changes are great, but you need to implement it correctly. Obviously,
Right.
getting the people. Obviously, like I said, people will be allocated new jobs. Like it's going to be as AI progresses, but you need to be training people to. There's no point implementing something if someone can't use it because it's going to just cause problems.
Oh no.
So you need
No.
training and development is going to be, I guess, a key area for businesses to make sure you have process. And like obviously, change management is key because obviously change within businesses, people get set in their ways of working, and obviously people, yeah, obviously with this new technology, changes will happen. So you people got to be adaptive to obviously work in this new way, learn the new tools, etc. Because obviously but then again, that's where leaders come in. They need to be like the educators here to look. This will
True.
benefit you, benefit your career, benefit the efficiencies. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of interesting times ahead.
Spot on.
So yeah, and like I say, I think we could be all day talking about every industry because every industry is going to be affected, or not affected, impacted. Shall we say?
Impacted, yeah. Yes. And I kept it high level purposely because, we can really go down deep into each of the industries, so I just want to give you a flavor of,
Yeah,
what,
definitely.
and your audience, obviously, especially so a flavor of what the possible impacts and challenges are, but, always free always open to, have more conversations with you on this topic to dive in deeper if that's needed anytime.
No, it's been great. It's been great. I really appreciate your time. And like I say, yeah, we'll obviously, yeah, we'll see what the future holds with AI, and obviously, hopefully, in a lot more interesting times ahead.
Only good things, hopefully. All right.
Thanks, Samir.
Pleasure. Have a good one, Ben.